Hello everyone! Today I will be comparing the same types of products but from different brands to see which one is better, ranging from eyeliners and eye pencils, waterproof makeup removers to some skincare even. I will compare them based on price, effectiveness, longevity and more. First, we have the eye pencils, Chanel versus MAC versus Bourjois. I mostly use eye pencils in the waterline, both lower and upper waterline, to emphasize and highlight the eye more. First, I will talk about the MAC eye pencil in smolder. The tip part. It's not super precise like you are writing with a pencil. It has a bit of, let's say, shading around. So for me, I honestly like it this way because it feels more natural on the eye, so it doesn't stick out too much, but it's still visible enough. It's also not too hard, so I don't feel like poking skin around the eyes when applying it. It's pretty pleasant to apply because it's on the softer side. Now let's move on to Chanel. This is 61 Noir Intense Eye Pencil. Show you the tip. This one also has a good balance between soft and hard tip. So it glides very smoothly and I don't feel, same as with MAC, I don't feel scratching on or pulling, poking the skin on the waterline. This one is a bit more intense than MAC. This one is, let's say, more like a pencil. In that case, it's more precise, but also can draw thinner line if you like it more subtle. Now sharpen it more. Okay, you can see now the tip is much thinner, so you can write a thinner line. Let me show you. You can see thinner or you have thicker line. Also, both MAC and the Chanel eye pencils fade over time in the waterline, no matter how much they claim that they are very, very long lasting. If your main criteria is long lastingness, I would say Bourjois is the most long lasting. I honestly don't think it's even possible when you're putting an eye pencil in the waterline to stay that long because of the eye physiology. Most eye pencils fade sooner or later, no matter how long wearing they claim to be. Now we also mentioned the Bourjois a bit. Let me introduce that one also. It's a Bourjois Contour Clubbing 54 Ultra Black. So this one is by default a bit more intense or thicker, how you would like to call it. So with this one, even it's completely sharpened, you can't, or it's harder to make thin line like with the Chanel. Of course, the budgets are different. Bourjois is much more budget friendly than both Chanel and MAC. I would say, honestly, if you don't catch it on sale, it's a big difference. And I would say the MAC and Chanel are not worth it. If you like it, the specific characteristics are good for you, you have a budget, definitely good eye pencils. But for me, Bourjois is much more budget-friendly option, but I honestly don't see almost any downsides in Bourjois. Maybe just some detail if you like very thin line and you have budget for Chanel, go with it. Bourjois, it's a bit harder for thinner line. Also, if you like more gradually shading effect, smudge effect, go for MAC. For me, both MAC and Chanel are a bit cheaper because I catch them on sale. But honestly, if you don't have that specific preferences, I would 100% recommend Bourjois Contour Clubbing. It's much cheaper and honestly, I don't have any problem with it. On contrary, it's a bit more long lasting than these two. Now for evening look, I usually also combine an eye pencil with a liquid eyeliner to create winged eyeliner, to add more definition and intensity to the eye. Perfect for night out or some special occasion. Regarding the liquid eyeliner, we have Collistar versus Chanel. Collistar Eyeliner Technico waterproof. I'll show you the tip. It has a bit more harder tip. It's not super hard, but I would say harder than average that I used. I initially bought it because of the harder tip, because I thought that would make it better and more easier to make a precise winged eyeliner. But in practice, they didn't turn out to be a case. I will show you. Here it is. I would say it's not harder to make with this kind of tip, but it's definitely not significantly easier either. The only downside with a harder tip is that you feel a slight scratching sensation during application. It's nothing major, it also depends how your eyes are used to that kind of things and how your eyes are sensitive. But for me, I find the harder tip a bit worse just because of that sensation. It's not difficult to draw a wing or apply it, just I didn't see a benefit of harder tip. It's not more precise, but you also get a bit scratching sensation while applying it. But honestly, I would say a pretty good eyeliner overall, except that it stays pretty long. It's waterproof. I didn't test it in some extreme conditions, but honestly, I didn't experience some smudging during the night. It stays, honestly, in normal conditions, it stays all night. Let's move on to Chanel, and then we'll make a few side-by-side comparisons. Regarding the Chanel, this is 512. It has a very nice packaging, first of all, very elegant, sleek. Chanel has a bit more softer tip. I will now show you side by side both. You can see Collistar has a bit more shorter and thicker tip, which is more than sturdy. And Chanel has a bit longer and a bit more softer tip, which is for me easier to maneuver than Collistar, and I don't feel scratching sensation like with Collistar, as I mentioned. It's much more smooth also, the texture. It's so hard. Oh my god. It's so hard. Put it on the hand compared to the eye that I'm not used to. I will try again. Sorry, this is because of the softer tip, but on the eye I feel I have more control. Let's try again. There it is. So I now can say it's easier to maneuver on the hand, but I don't know, on the eye I'm always doing the same or very similar winged eyeliner, and I'm very used to the shape of my eye and how I hold eyeliner, but with Chanel it's much more pleasant application because of the softer tip. It's smoother. Also, the Chanel is creamier a bit. The texture of the eyeliner substance is a bit creamier. Both eyeliner, I can say, are pretty long-lasting and stay all evening without any issues. Also, once dried, they both feel comfortable on the eye. Also, I don't know if I mentioned with Chanel eye pencil, you get included sharpener, which honestly I didn't know. When I bought it, I didn't pay attention, but it was pleasant surprise. It's pretty good sharpener. I even sharpened the other pencils with it. Now to remove all of this, we are moving on to waterproof makeup removers. We have to compare Bioderma, La Roche-Posay, that's from the pharmacy drugstore side. And from the luxury side, we have Chanel, and we also have Lancôme, to see what is better, luxury, pharmacy, which one is the most efficient for stubborn and waterproof makeup. First of all of these removers are biphasic, which means, you can see here, they have two liquids, and they combine oil-based and water-based liquid, so you have to shake all of them before use. Over the years, biphasic removers have proven for me to be the best choice for removing stubborn waterproof makeup. So they're all for stubborn waterproof makeup. We will just see some specific details, what is different between them and which one is most efficient and the winner in this category. I will start from the luxury option by the prices and then move to the most affordable options. We'll start with Chanel. You can see Bi-Facil, Gentle Bi-Facil Eye Makeup Remover. They have 2 liquids. Shake, shake, shake. First thing, you sadly can't see it, or better to say smell it. For me, Chanel has very unique and slightly unusual scent. Nothing terrible, but not my favorite scent either. Somebody will maybe like this scent, but honestly, I don't like it. Put on the cotton pad. So let's do the test. Let's start here. Everything is going very nicely. Nothing left. Everything clean, nothing left. So efficiency, nice. Also the feeling, it's a bit oily, but not too much. It takes a bit time to dry, so you have to wait a bit until continuing with the next skincare steps, but not too much. It's a bit oily, but not greasy, nothing. It leaves my skin around the ears feeling nourished and hydrated. Now I will move to the other luxury product, which is Lancôme Bi-Facil. They say non-oily, but honestly for me, this one is the oiliest out of all 4. It's not too much, I would say. I would not give them negative points for that, but if you compare them all, because I use them all 4 multiple times, this one is the oiliest. So one thing also you can't see or smell. For me, this one has the best scent, but that's the personal preference. A lot of people have problem with scents, or some scent that I find very pleasant, some people find it overpowering, so that's all preference. But for me, out of all 4, this one has the best scent, very pleasant scent. But it's not subtle, so if you don't like products with perfume scents, I would say this one is not for you. So let's shake it. Sorry, first of all, let's put something. So we have something to remove. Here I have some, these are NYX waterproof eyeliners. This one notoriously known that they're hard to remove. And these are also Max Factor Lipfinity lipsticks, which are also hard to remove when you let them set and put the top over it. So I will put one NYX waterproof liquid liner. I didn't include these ones in the comparison of liquid liners because I only have them in color, I don't have black. Here is one waterproof liquid eyeliner. Next, Max Factor Lipfinity lipstick. Let's try the Lancôme. Shake it on a cotton pad. Now let's test it. Everything is going pretty nicely. And everything clean. All clean. So this one also passed the test of effectiveness. So far we reviewed and tested Chanel and Lancôme, both luxury and both more expensive than the other ones from the pharmacy that I have. I would say for me personally, all these luxury products end up costing less because I monitor local stores constantly and catch them on sale and stock up. So I always have them ready to use when I run out, because at full price, they're often not worth it. I will mention at the end when I try the other 2, are these worth it at a luxury price? But for now, let's move to pharmacy options. From the pharmacy options, we have Bioderma and La Roche. I will start with La Roche Respectissime Waterproof Eye Makeup Remover. This one has been my favorite for years. It's super gentle and doesn't irritate my eyes at all. Also, the other one doesn't irritate my eyes, just to clarify that. Now I will put it to the test. We have again one NYX waterproof liquid liner, and using this one because I read a lot of reviews online that the NYX Epic Wear waterproof liquid liners are one of the hardest things to remove. So I on purpose use them. I'm not hearing how I'm applying it because this is just for removing purposes to show how effective or not effective are waterproof eye makeup removers. You will find out at the end. Now we have again Max Factor Affinity, which is also one of the products people have problems removing, especially when you set it correctly. You first put the color and then wait 1 or 2 minutes and then put top coat. Okay, and I will also add Chanel maybe, because it's also waterproof for the test. So we'll see the removal process. La Roche, for me, is a bit less oily than the luxury options. Now let's test it. These are all very waterproof. Stubborn to remove things, but none of the products have any problems with removing it. Nice. This one is a bit less oily than the luxury options, so I like it because I can immediately after continue with my skincare routine, eye cream, etc. Compare the luxury options where I have to wait a bit longer before continuing the process. And we have at the end Bioderma, the other options from the drugstore. Bioderma Sensibio Biphasic Micellar Water Remover, also for waterproof makeup, for sensitive eyes and lips. For me, this one is very similar, almost identical to La Roche. The only difference is, I would say, La Roche is in some cases, very specific cases, a bit more effective, but that's very small difference. Also, Bioderma says it's for sensitive eyes and lips, so maybe if you're very sensitive, this one is better for you, but I find the other one also to be good. For my eyes, honestly, neither of these 4 irritate my eyes, so I can't say anything from that perspective, but everyone's skin is different, so maybe, I don't know, this one irritates you, this one is good for you, or vice versa. These ones are also similar in price compared to luxury options, much more affordable, but let's try the Bioderma so we can talk comparisons. Okay, shake, shake, shake. You see a bit harder than La Roche, but also very effective. Everything is done, all 4. So I would say from the effectiveness, I would say all 4 are pretty effective. I would say the least oily one is for me this one. I can immediately after apply my eye cream. Then this one is pretty close. Then this one is a bit more oily. And I would say the oiliest is, ironically, the one that says non-oily, Lancôme. But not too much, just out of this lineup is the oiliest. Tested them on all with an array of hard to remove, stubborn, waterproof products, so you can see side-by-side comparison to be fair with similar products. I would say efficiency-wise, they all receive an A. They are all very effective, so from that perspective, they all pass the test, they're all good. I also ordered them by how much are they oily. They are all very effective and gentle. As you saw, when I removed it, every single one of them, there was no harsh rubbing needed, nothing. Look, my hand, after 4 or 5 times of applying and removing, feel very comfortable, very nice. Look, 4 or 5 consecutive removals, and it's all good. So that's also good for all of them. So now the price, these one are luxury, these one are pharmacy prices. In this case, I don't think these luxury options are worth it. I don't have problem with them, honestly. If you like, I don't know, scent from this one or specific scent from this one, or the texture feels a bit better. To you, it's a bit less oily, more oily, or I don't know, you have very sensitive eyes and some of these irritates you. They're all good, you can try the other ones. But if you compare everything, price, how effective they are, how oily they are, how for me they feel on the eye, I would say for me the winner is La Roche-Posay. Not by a hard margin or anything, but that's my opinion after using all of them for some times. And La Roche I've been using for years and years. And I wanted to try the other option to see higher price and luxury option would be better, or is maybe Bioderma is better, because La Roche and Bioderma for me are very similar in most products. But in the end, I'm sticking with La Roche. None of the others impressed me enough to switch. They're all pretty good. I recommend them from different reasons. I explain everything. But for me, it's not worth switching from La Roche-Posay. And lastly, we have the La Roche-Posay Lipicare Xerand Hand Cream versus Bioderma Atoderm Mains and Angles. Both of these hand creams are excellent. I've been using the La Roche-Posay hand cream for years, and I discovered Bioderma Atoderm Mains and Angles last year, and I was generally impressed. By the way, Mains and Angles is in French, hands and nails. So the cream is designed not just for nourishing your hands, but also for nourishing the nails and cuticles, which makes it kinda two-in-one product. They are both non-greasy, absorb quickly, and leave my hand feeling soft and moisturized. All the good stuff. They work phenomenal on dry, sensitive skin. If I had to choose just one, I would go with Bioderma Atoderm Hands and Nails Cream. It's just slightly better for me. It has a nicer scent when applied, and the texture feels a bit smoother and more pleasant as I spread it over my hands. Still, La Roche-Posay hand cream is amazing. In fact, it helped me heal my dermatitis a few years ago. And I've shared my full journey in a separate video, from the time when my hands were extremely dry, damaged, itchy. I will leave in the description the link to that video, if you want to check it out. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more skincare and makeup reviews and recommendations. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!